Welcome to Movie Time in 5. My name is Brian Hayes, and each week I'll provide an almost 5-minute spoiler-free look at a horror or sci-fi movie recently released in theaters, on iTunes, or a popular streaming service such as Netflix or Amazon Prime. This week we'll be discussing a movie that came recommended to me a few weeks ago by my best friend, and it's available right now on iTunes for around $5 to rent. And this movie is called Hidden, released back in 2015, directed and written by Matt and Ross Duffer. This movie revolves around three characters: Alexander Skarsgård, well known for his prominent vampire role in True Blood, who plays Ray the dad, Andrea Riseborough, who plays Claire the mom, and finally Emily Lind, who plays the daughter Zoe. So, in this film, Ray, Claire, and their 7-year-old daughter Zoe are an average American family living in North Carolina, with one huge exception. They have existed in a bomb shelter ever since escaping a devastating event that changed the world, or at least the region where they're located in. The movie makes it clear that they have been in the shelter for nearly a year, and the movie primarily takes place outside of the final act in their cement prison they now call home, as they hold on to memories of the past and remain hopeful that they can go back into some semblance of a normal life again someday. So the movie focuses on both the physical and emotional survival as they battle to survive with dwindling rations and feelings of isolation and fear from inside the shelter, and hearing noises of what Zoe has termed the breathers from outside. In the first 2/3 of the movie, it is similar to recent movies such as 10 Cloverfield Lane and Split, which focus on a very limited space to venture throughout, thereby relying on interpersonal relationships and dialogue, with 3 or 4 flashbacks to what took place to lead them to entering the bomb shelter, helping to build the narrative slowly. The final 30 minutes of the movie ventures out beyond the closed, confined space of the bomb shelter, as first Mom and Dad venture beyond, and soon by Zoe, who's terrified by being left alone. The final act takes both a shift from tone, dialogue to action, as well as a twist going into the final act, which sees our 3 protagonists doing what it takes to try to survive. So what does this movie do well? First, the acting and dialogue is extremely well done by all 3 actors, with the stress and emotional volleys between them coming off as very believable. You can feel both the physical and emotional pain all 3 are going through, and how they each have their own ways to cope with it. Second, the atmosphere and cinematography in the bomb shelter is perfectly done and sets the physical and emotional mood and interactions between the family perfectly. Finally, a minimalist movie can either be absolutely terrible or excellent. In this movie, it's the latter. The plot of this movie and the development of the gripping mystery throughout the first 60 minutes of the film is executed in both a simple and powerful way. So, does the movie struggle with anything? I would say one thing: although I believe that the twist that takes place in the final 30 minutes of the movie and how the family deals with exposure to the outside world is surprising and overall works, some of the scenes and actions of the protagonist feel clunky and almost devoid of the acting chops from the first 60 minutes. In other words, it is a better psychological thriller than it is an action movie. So, how would I rate Hidden? I would give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. A brilliant methodical screenplay that benefits from the Duffer brothers' keen cinematic sensibilities that they'd harness to a greater degree in Stranger Things, another classic that's on Netflix now. Here it's a slow burn, claustrophobic thriller which morphs into something entirely different with a fresh spin on a genre. Along with brilliant casting, creative cinematography, and a killer twist at the end, this movie is a must-see for fans of the genre. So, I hope you've enjoyed this Movie Time in 5. Oh, wait a minute. One more thing. I was challenged this week on Twitter to try a delectable treat by some folks. So I'm honoring right now that bet and that request. Eating a hot dog instead of inside of a bun, inside of a half-broken Twinkie, of which I have no issues with, and you don't have to twist my arm to do it. So we're going to give that a try right now. Here we go. Let's see how this thing tastes. Looks pretty delicious, right? Let's see. A little closer. Twinkie, hot dog. I can handle this. I'd give it a try if I was you. All right. So, again, I hope you've enjoyed this movie Time in 5. You can find me on Twitter at BrianHez73. And until next week, do your heart some good and get scared. Bye, y'all.